Antoine Walker's back with us now. Antoine, you surprised Kawhi and PG didn't push Ballmer harder to keep Doc Rivers for next season?
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised because I played a half a season with Doc. I didn't have the full season that those guys have had with Doc. But knowing from Paul being one of my good friends, how he treats superstars, and obviously witnessed it myself, he's a great coach for superstars. He treats superstars really, really well. He puts them on a pedestal. He gives them numerous days off. He really works hard to make sure those guys feel very special, from my understanding of what I've experienced with him. He's a great offensive-minded coach. I'm a value shooter. I was never a high percentage guy when I shot the basketball. But when I played for him, he put me in great spots, and I shot my career best under Doc Rivers. So I know how great of an offensive mind he is as a coach. It's surprising that they would not defend him and support him and ask for another year to let those guys redeem themselves. Because I know for a fact he's probably done everything he can to make the situation very comfortable for them, especially Kawhi Leonard, by now allowing him to practice, miss games, make the proper adjustments that needed throughout the season to accommodate both of these guys so they can be the superstars they are. So I am very surprised they did not support him 110% and really forced them to give another shot with this group to come back the following year.
So listen, I don't blame Ballmer for moving on from Doc. I think I think it is, Ryan Hollins brought up an interesting point yesterday that I think warrants some inspection, which was the timing about Ballmer was waiting to see what the Nuggets looked like against the Lakers. That if the Nuggets somehow ran roughshod over the Lakers, then it's like, oh, okay. Like, it's just the bubble. It's weird. We ran into this crazy hot team. Jokic and Murray are the next great, Shaq and Kobe. And you just, but then they saw the Nuggets losing 5 to Lakers. It's like, oh, no. This loss was as bad as we thought it was. And that's why Doc ends up leaving. But the meltdown against the Nuggets is not primarily on Doc. That team was healthy. That team was up 3-1. That team had big second-half leads, and their stars could not bring it home for them. And now their coach ends up being fired because of it. So, Antoine, I kick this to you. No matter who the next coach is, that guy right there, Kawhi Leonard, doesn't he have to go into next year adjusting some things? Doesn't he have to go into next year for the first time in his career attempting to be a vocal leader? Doesn't he have to go into next year willing to play a regular amount of basketball games, not 82, but closer to 70 than to 60? Because they're not going to be able to change the roster dramatically. In large part, this is going to be the team they have next year. So no matter who the coach is, Antoine, doesn't it start with whether or not Kawhi is going to make the requisite adjustments to redeem what happened in the final 3 games against Denver?
Well, I do agree he has to play better, obviously, in closeout situations. He's done that a lot in his career where he's played well. But I think his leadership skills do have to get better off the court. And I always talk about this, and I've said this numerous times in the show, LeBron James, that's where he separates himself at. He gets guys to buy in. Whatever unique tricks he uses, whatever he does, whether it's going to dinners, whether it's inviting guys to his house, Kawhi Leonard has to step outside his shell if he wants to be a champion for the Clippers. If he wants to take this team to the next level. Well, I don't know if he is going to do it. He left Toronto, a situation where he could have stayed in the role that he was in and been a great player, and they could have been out the Eastern Conference for the next 2-3 years. That's how good they were with Kawhi and the way the Eastern Conference set up. But now you out west where competition is a lot stiffer. It's going to be much harder to get there. You have some voice to fill on your roster. Now you have a coaching vacancy. He has to step up. And if he wants to be a champion and if he wants to win, we'll see what type of player Kawhi is. But you got to understand, everybody's built differently. Kawhi may not have 3-4 championships in him. We may believe that as a skill set, we may say, oh, he can win 3 or 4 championships. LeBron is different. LeBron is chasing the greatest. LeBron wants to be in the conversation with the Michael Jordans, the Magic Johnsons, the Bill Russells. We don't know Kawhi. He's very quiet. He's very sheltered. He doesn't talk a lot. We don't know where he wants to be at as a pro and where he wants to finish a career. He may be content where he's at right now. I know he left a lot of money on the table. I know he left a place that loved him dearly, and they would do anything for him. Now you with the Clippers, all that stuff is out the window. You got to perform now. Now you just got a very good coach fired. Now a new coach has to come in. It's a lot of responsibility on his head. Now that the cover's off Kawhi right now, he has to step up now as a leader on and off the court to get this organization to the next level. And we'll see if he wants that. But he may not want it. That question still remains, and we'll see that over the next couple months.
But, Antoine, I think you made an interesting point about LeBron and LeBron's vocal leadership. LeBron has been like that since he was 16 years old, and he has shown it in every aspect of his life. In the time, Nick, that he said, I'm going to be someone else, I'm going to wear the black hat for the Miami Heat, what happened?
He failed.
It's like, I'm not myself.
That was the one time he failed.
I failed. It doesn't work.
work.
So asking Kawhi to be this vocal leader when we haven't seen it, and he's like, you know what, guys?
Well,
by the way,
then
go
let's
to my
split
trophy
it.
case. I have 2 Finals MVPs playing the way I do. It just didn't work this time.
Turn
I don't
that
need
on.
to become a new person.
No, hold on. But let's split it then. If he's not going to become the vocal leader and inviting everyone to dinners, at the very least, be a leader not just with your performance in the games, but your attendance to practices, with the way that you set the template for how seriously guys are going to take the season. Don't show up late to the bubble, which then maybe makes Lou Williams say, Magic City does look pretty good, and those wings are delicious. There is an element of that. And so I think even if you can't ask Kawhi, Jenna, to be given speeches, you can ask him to set an example, not just by being a great mid-range player and great defender.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.